Welcome to J.A.M Media, or J.A.M for short, where I have passionate conversations with the people that excite me. Recently, I got to speak with Canberran rapper and producer Citizen K ahead of his tour for new record Belly of the Beast. Let's stop messing about though and get to my interview with Citizen K. How's your morning been so far?
Pretty damn chill, man. Just sitting here looking at the Canberra blue skies, man.
Just looking back at your history, at 6 years old, you immigrated to Australia from Ghana. Do you have any memories from that time?
So, from Ghana, pretty vague. Like, I have, vague memories of our house and where we lived and a couple of family members. My first kind of memory that kind of stuck with me was actually flying over here, going from Ghana, which is 35-40 degree weather every day, and landing in Canberra in the middle of winter.
Ooh.
And yeah, 6-year-old rocker, I had shorts on as well, completely oblivious to what I was coming to. And landing and just being oh my lord, where are we right now? And having to rock, my mum put her jacket on me, which was obviously huge, and just rocking this purple flowery jacket walking to the airport. And I don't know, felt like minus 20 degree weather at that time. But that memory has forever stuck with me when I first landed in Canberra.
Have you got used to the cold now?
Yeah, as much as you can. I mean, it's still not pleasurable, but I could deal with it.
And did that experience moving over influence your decision to get into music and specifically hip hop?
Definitely not, man. I think at that age I was pretty oblivious to what was going on. I was in my own world, It's one day we're at home, the next day we're on a plane, the day after we're in another country. But nothing ever really hit me what was going on. Music has kind of just always been around in my family anyway. Mum's a singer in a church choir. She's always been in that. Dad's just always pumped music anytime he can. And hip-hop actually didn't come for me till way later on. I actually was under the impression that I hated hip-hop for a long time, because I'm originally a guitarist, so I used to play in rock and funk bands. So hip-hop didn't come till way later on.
And what was it that captured your attention and made you fall for it?
Well, the first was my older cousin, Miracle. He got signed to Sony at the age of 17, and he was rapping, and I was just that was a massive influence. And around that same time, I discovered Kanye West for the first time. So those kind of two things made me go back. One thing was my favorite bands at the time were the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Rage Against the Machine, which later on I realized they're both heavily rap hip hop influenced bands, which is probably why I actually vibed with them so much. Realizing that later on, it's just kind of those influences all kind of came together and me going, you know what, I wouldn't mind having a crack at some poetry and some rhyming.
And now that you're based out of Canberra, what is the hip-hop scene like there?
The hip-hop scene here, I was completely unaware of it for a long time. So when I first started, I was kind of under this impression that there wasn't a hip-hop scene here. But obviously, the more I got into it, the more I started going out into gigs, there's actually pretty much everyone here raps. Every third person you run into is a rapper or poet of some sort. And I think seeing other artists and musicians kind of start getting out and doing things in the publicly has now kind of influenced other Canberran rappers and musicians to kind of step up and show their stuff off as well. So the scene here has been growing in the last few years. Might as well be because I've actually started paying attention in the last few years as well to what's happening here. I was kind of always under the impression that I had to leave Canberra to experience any sort of hip-hop community, but it's kept me around because, realised that there is actually an amazing community here for the hip-hop.
And I understand you're sort of in the process of setting up a studio to try and help develop those local artists. Why did you choose to do that?
Well, I've just always been into recording and mixing and production. That's when I first started making music. I did it all myself because I couldn't afford to go anywhere, kind of thing. And over the last kind of 6 years, I've developed myself in doing that more and more. And the more I got into the industry, the more I realized to get kind of top quality, studio recordings and mixing and all, engineers cost a lot of money. And I think that's one of the things that deters a lot of people when they first start out. So kind of part of, me trying to be a massive Canberra advocate of the talent we have here is like, if I can offer, high quality kind of recordings and music for people here at a way lower price, kind of an affordable price for up and comers, then like why wouldn't I do that? Because I'll use the studio for myself as well, obviously, but why not kind of help the community and get people up there as well?
That must be a really rewarding process as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I love doing it as well. So it's, for me, the more creative I can be with other people, that's what I want to do. Is just I love being a studio and I love creating music. So why limit that to just making music for myself, kind of thing?
And speaking of your own music, you have a new LP coming out in just over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have that so close now?
Man, I can feel the weight off my shoulders sliding off every day. So the process in this album has been like 2 years from when it very first started. And this album itself has actually been done for a few months now. So to finally coming close to the date of everyone actually hearing it, it's just like, I'm just so excited because I'm so proud of how this album actually ended up turning out, because when I started it, I actually didn't have in my mind that I was going to write an album, and I didn't know that it would end up the way it had. So I guess having it hidden away for so long as well, I'm just excited for people to hear it and just to get people's thoughts on it as well.
And I understand with it taking 2 years, it was because you really wanted to sort of focus in on each track on the writing.
Yeah, definitely.
How was that process?
It was a challenge, man. But I think that's, if you're not challenging yourself, then I think you're almost wasting your time a little bit. With the last album, I kind of focused on the production and the sonics of it, and intentionally sacrificed kind of depth with my lyrics for that with my last album. So for this album, I wanted to do the opposite, well, not the opposite, but I wanted to keep that musicality there, but also really go in depth with my lyricism and flows and, what I was saying. And I wanted to have layers to my lyrics as well. I wanted people to enjoy them on a surface level, but also if they wanted to dive deeper into what I was saying, for them to have the ability to do that. So challenging myself to even using words that I wouldn't usually use. So I did a lot of reading. I had stopped reading for a long time, so I started reading a lot again and just educating myself as much as I can in that time. So it was a challenge and it was very time consuming, but I don't regret a minute of it at all.
Has that process become more important recently following the success of artists like Kendrick, who's probably a master of blending that deeper meaning into songs?
Oh, no doubt, man. Like, Kendrick is for me the perfect example of the music that I've always wanted to make but never knew how it should have sounded. So Kendrick has really set that bar, and the lyricism in itself is just like, I think every rapper just in the world after Kendrick is kind of just like, oh crap, we actually got to step up our game a little bit here. Because I think that art had been lost for such a long time until Kendrick came back in and kind of blew up on such a mass scale. So yeah, that Kendrick it still is a massive influence in my music. And yeah, you're definitely right lyrically as well. It's kind of just like I have to challenge myself and really make sure I'm saying something.
And you're releasing the new record through Illy's label.
Mm-hmm.
It must be reassuring to have someone like him willing to invest and support you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's one of those things where I'd never really pictured it happening kind of thing. I've always had in my mind that I was this lone wolf that was just doing his own thing that no one really understood. So to have someone like Ilya and the 1-2 unified whole team backing what I'm doing is just so reassuring and inspiring and motivating to continue making music. And it's kind of just like, maybe people do kind of get what I'm doing, and maybe there is some sort of connection there. And to have them with me as I'm growing as an artist is just an amazing thing to have around.
And you're heading out on tour with him in August. How are you feeling about that?
Pretty pumped, man. I'm ready to showcase the new stuff, the new material, ready to get on the road again. I haven't been on a tour for a long time. I'm ready to sweat it out on stage. I've been pretty lazy with my fitness, and I can't help but run back and forth on stage like endlessly, so I know I'm going to be sweating a lot on this tour, which I'm keen for.
Will it be nice to have that sort of support tour before you then head out on the road for your headline tour?
Yeah, the timing has been perfect. I was telling my drummer about it just the other day. It's just like we have time to actually get these songs right on stage before we do them on our own headliners. Which, yeah, the timing just for everything just worked out really well.
And lastly, what can people expect from your show in Sydney?
My show, man, expect energy. I mean, I've always tried to bring energy to everything, but one of the things that I've discovered in myself in the last kind of 2 years and over the process of this album is just doing it without, I guess, worrying about what other people think. I find my best performances have been the ones where I've just been fully in the zone, as if, you know, people who sing out loud when they're in the shower kind of thing. It's like, because there's no one around, they go all out. But I think that mentality I've really come to harness and understand. So being able to put that out in my shows is, for this tour in general and that Sydney show, I'm just keen to just go all out and just be me and do what I've got to do and, you know, showcase all I can showcase.
Wonderful. That's all I'll need. Thank you very much for your time and good luck with the tours.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
I hope everyone enjoyed listening to my conversation with Citizen K. If you enjoyed this interview, please subscribe and share the video. Then head on over to jamiapsmedia.com so that I can continue to bring you more interviews and reviews in the future. Thanks.